is Elder Black Light, and this is part 2. I don't know the ins and outs of Nature Boy, but I do know his roots. You know, I do know of his roots that was brought out. And I do know the way he act. He also gets emotional. And he have a lot of following. But as was said in the last video, this young lady asked a very pertinent question. She said, if the meek shall inherit the earth, why we can't stay in Babylon? And what she knows that the devil has trying to put his roots all over the planet. He's already in Africa, Asia. It's hard to get in Asia. Them brothers over there, they fighting. Chinese and whatever. You know. But they kind of corrupt too. They got some corruption in them. The whole planet is corrupted. All the leaders of today have compromised their position. And all of them are fighting for the minds of the youth. All the leaders. Because what's the deal is you're using their technology, you're using their money. And see, everything is weaponized. The Caucasian has weaponized everything. The technology, the money, the food. He has weaponized one against the other. So it's the Jim Jones effect now for the young. The old don't know how to fight this, because they way was checked in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, and in the 90s. So what must we do? A lot of brothers say, well, we need boots on the ground. They didn't check that too. You're only going to get so far. One brother said, well, the revolution won't be televised. And he's right. The revolution got to start in your mind. This is what we got to understand. It's not an external battle, it's an internal battle that we got to win first. The resistance to the devil got to be first in the mind. This was the story of Jesus in the New Testament. But somehow it got clouded up with Christmas. Because Jesus was telling everybody that I'm in the Father and the Father's in me. In other words, you God on earth, you know. You Allah on earth. Especially when you're in unity with one another. You God on earth. when we pray and we on one accord, things change. You can change things when you pray. You know, your mental vibration on one accord could change things. But you got to be on one accord. Every thought is a prayer. Every thought has a vibration. A thought is transformed into words. And Jesus also said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. If you look at the story of Jesus, we're going to run through it real fast. When it first come on, it gives you the generation of Jesus, Jesus' ancestors and whatever. And it indicates that his ancestors were black. And he was living in this town, and the king was a puppet of the Romans. But the Romans was paying him off, to live, to keep his people in check. Because the Roman Empire, the whole Roman Empire wasn't over there, but it was just a satellite of the Roman Empire, or a colony of the Roman Empire. And the Pharisees were a puppet of that king. And some of his council, the king's council, told him that someone is going to be born to change all of this. They're going to have a different, powerful method that will break our people free from this mind control. Because everybody was using the Romans' empire's way of doing things, but the Romans had weaponized the teachings of Moses, the teachings of all the previous prophets. And so they say this baby that's being born is going to change all that. So the king said, well, kill all the boy babies. It's parallel to what's happening now. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when you speak in the past, present, future tense. So what we say that was in the past is happening right now. And what's happening right now will dictate the future. So the king was after to kill all these boys up, because they didn't know exactly who was going to do this. So he said, rather than we can't find him, just knock off everybody. They didn't know when he was going to be born, and they didn't know where he was at. So this baby, we're going to say Jesus, for, we know better, but we're going to use Jesus. Jesus' mother, we're going to say Mary, took him to Egypt. Egypt was the seat of knowledge, supreme wisdom at that time. And he got a higher learning, came back, and was opening up the people's eyes. And he got the story goes that he got a following, 12 disciples. for different reasons. He chose different guys to be his disciples. He didn't teach in no church. He was teaching outside the temple. But one day he went to the temple and ran all the preachers out of there because they was pimping the people, just like they doing now. But in his group, he had read their minds and he knew that they was going to turn on him. This reminds me of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm turned on him. Everyone has turned on him. Even though he's dead, his teaching still lives, but they trying to kill his teachings. So all these pseudo preachers and teachers is coming up. Most of them are young and don't have the sense, but they got a gift of gab. But they don't have the sense, the real divine understanding of how to deal with this devil, because they are puppets of the devil. Some of them might know it and some of them don't. Because like I say, the devil utilizes all things as a weapon against us, our women, our children, ourselves. So Jesus said a wise thing: be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And he said that you are all gods. But it's hard for us to understand that. So what went down was Jesus outthought them. They thought they had killed him. Murdered him. That reflects in what's happening now. They thought by them killing Malcolm, killing Khalid, and almost killing the Minister Farrakhan, and the Nation of Islam went under, and we waiting on it for the resurrection of the nation to come back. We thought it had resurrected when Minister Farrakhan came, but it's in the process of being resurrected. And it's hard. It's a hard battle. It's a hard fight, but it's in the process. It's not fully resurrected, because when it resurrects, it's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. And that's what this young lady feels in her mind and in her soul, and she's expressing that. Says, we are waking up now through the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was being falsely, in other words, the weapon that they're using against the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and all his disciples is smear tactics. And so they're killing up all the black males, either physically or mentally. We're going to come back on this bill with a part 3. Black life.